Hey, it's Colin, and you are listening to the Expert Edge podcast. I was a professional speaker for over a decade, and now I focus on helping coaches, speakers, and course creators to speak and sell on virtual and live stages. The Expert Edge podcast is weekly content focused on helping you build your expert business. We cover marketing, storytelling, sales, communication skills, and so much more. Thanks for taking the time to tune in, and make sure you subscribe and follow us on all our social channels so you don't miss a thing. Let's listen to today's episode. So welcome back to the Expert Edge. Colin Boyd in the driver's seat. Great to have you as a long-time listener or a new listener. By the way, if you don't know who I am, I help people design high-converting presentations and stories so you can get more clients. I mainly specialize in the coaching industry, so coaches, course creators, speakers. I've been doing this for about 15 years and had the chance to coach. We've got over 10,000 paying members in our programs, which is just cool. 10,000 people. And today's conversation, I want to share with you 3 strategies coming into the end of 2024. The time of this recording right now, it's kind of end of August, and probably going to hear this start of September, but we're coming into, the back end of 2024. And I don't know what your year has been like, whether it's been up, whether it's been down. Let you in on an insight for, a few pretty high level mastermind, like minimum requirement is you have to be making $1 million to be in the group. And a lot of people are saying that 2024 has been a tough year. Like financially, they're either plateaued or they're down on revenue. I've got a few friends who are very well known in the industry, and they're down like 30%, 35% on their top line revenue. And so if you've had a tough year, I want you to know that there's a lot of people out there who have had a challenging year. And if you're in the US, it's been a lot of stuff going on with, obviously it's an election year. Inflation has increased dramatically, housing, all that sort of stuff. There's been a lot of challenges. And so I wanted to share with you 3 strategies that if I wanted to make the end of 2024 a win for me, cash flow wise, business wise, these are 3 strategies that I would implement. Now, I say I would because I'll be really frank, 2024 has been a fantastic year for us. We're up top line revenue about 35%. I have changed a lot of my delivery styles. I'm doing a lot less kind of coaching now and doing a lot more kind of high level delivery and so forth. And so it's been a really, really good year. So we're actually up. And so I wanted to share with you some strategies that if I in my business wasn't up, or if I wanted to kick off some momentum in my business, like let's say we didn't have the momentum that we've got, what are 3 things that I would do right away? Okay, so that's what I want to share with you today, and to help inspire you go to the next level and to get some cash flow in your business. Now, if you find this really helpful and useful, then make sure to leave a review. If you haven't left a review for the Expert Edge, please just scroll down, especially on iTunes, leave a review, take a screenshot of your written review, send it to me on Instagram, just at Colin Boyd, and I'll send you over a free course, something that we normally charge for. We normally charge about $197 for this course. I'll send it to you for free if you just for leaving a review, right? Take a screenshot, send it over. I always just love reading those reviews. It's the reason why I do the podcast, to help you, to serve you, to help you grow in your business. So go ahead and do that. And we're going to get into today's podcast, all about 3 strategies to increase profit to make the end of 2024 an absolute win. All right, so let's talk about these 3 strategies. Like I said, if I was in a spot in my coaching business where I needed some momentum, I needed some kickstart, like something to kind of kick over and push me to the next level, bring in some cash flow, whether that's $10, $20, $30, $40,000 over the next couple of months, what would I do? Now, I will say that I've had many times in my business, I've been running my coaching business now for 15 years, maybe even 16 now, full time. And I've had many seasons in my life where cash flow was down. I needed to bring in an extra 5,000, extra 10,000 for the month. So I want you to know, like, if that's what you need to do, that's totally fine. And so here's some strategies that I would recommend you do, some really simple ones some a bit more complex, some a bit more simple. But use this as like a bit of a kickstart for you to go, okay, I'm going to choose one of these strategies and get this done in the next 7 days. So don't think like, oh, I'm going to do this in 30 days. No, do it in the next 7 days and just see what happens, okay? So let's get into these 3 strategies. The first strategy is to launch a new offer. Now, before you say, oh my gosh, Colin, that's so huge, don't think about launching like building an entire new product and an entire new service. Don't think about, like reshooting your course or, booking a videographer and creating a whole new program. Like, don't think about it like that. Just simply go, what is a very specific need that my audience has that I could solve? And try to get more specific. So, for example, like let's say you teach social media. Don't just go like social media growth. Choose a really specific outcome. So maybe it's like a program that's designed to help people hit 10,000 followers in 30 days, or to help people get 5 new clients from Instagram in 30 days. Like something really specific where an audience has a tangible outcome. Now, what I would recommend you to do is just literally, you could just email your list and say, hey, I'm going to be running a new program and this is the outcome. This is who it's for. There's a very limited group of people that I'm going to be accepting, and do it at a price where it's like a no-brainer, right? Maybe it's $497, or maybe it's like 3 installments of $197, or like do something where it's just going to like kick over momentum. Maybe it's like a smaller price. Maybe it's, what you could do is you could sell it for a cheaper price, like $47. And then after you deliver the 4 trainings, right? So 1 per week, just on Zoom, like don't even think about like pre-recording it. Then you make an offer to like a $3,000 program or a $5,000 program. And then that's when the revenue comes in, because they're going to be super warm to what you do, right? So launch a new program. I spent a day with Donald Miller, creator of How to Create a Story Brand, one of my favorite thought leaders in the industry. And he was reflecting on, when we were spending some time with him, he was reflecting on the fact that one of the fastest ways to grow revenue is to add a new product. And I will say that I am not a big fan of adding new products all the time. However, I think that if you need some momentum, you need a kickstart, adding something fresh to your product suite can make a huge difference. I'll give an example of that. So our main core curriculum is called Sell from Stage Academy, right? It helps people design high converting presentations to get clients. That program I'd been running for about 2 years. And there's a part of that program which is storytelling. There's a part of that program which is called infusion selling. Now, these are like just really specific parts of the program. And I remember one day I was like, what if I took just the storytelling part, and because not everyone's ready for the whole presentation process. But a lot of people want to learn about storytelling. So once again, very specific angle, right? Storytelling. And it wasn't just any storytelling. It was storytelling to sell. So how do you tell a story in a way that creates an offer, that leads to an offer? And we came up with the idea of conversion story, right? And I launched that to the list. And I think we did like, now at the time, my list was around 20,000 people, right? But I launched it at $47. And I think we had about like 400 or 500 people buy it in the first week, like the first 5 days, like 400 or 500 people. So this is amazing, right? And all these people who were on my list who weren't ready to join the full curriculum program, they loved this storytelling program. Now, once they got access to the storytelling program, then a lot of the time they're like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. How do we implement the whole system, right? But I want you to think about it like that. Like you could literally look at your main curriculum and go, what's a very specific part of that curriculum that I could offer to my audience? Now, this is what we call a mini course. This is something that I teach actually inside of our coaching program. So we've got a continuity coaching program. It's called Sell from Stage Elite. It basically helps people go from $5,000, $10,000 a month up to $100,000 a month. And it's using virtual presentations and live virtual presentations, right? And I do coaching in it every other week. Now, that program, part of it is them creating a mini course. And the mini course is usually a subset of their main curriculum that they build, which is their signature program. And so it can be as simple as that. You literally just launch like a mini course, a mini version of one of your programs. So that's something you can test, something I encourage my students to do. So that's the first idea, is like just take a mini course. I've done that several times. Some of them worked really well, some of them not as well, but then you're going to get a good feel. That could literally just be as simple as like a quick email with a simple checkout page. The second way you can get momentum is to offer one-on-one coaching. Now, I know one-on-one coaching is not, a lot of people say, it's not like the sexiest thing. It's manual work, all that sort of stuff. Like, how do you move from one-on-one to group coaching? And I get all of that. I totally get all of that. But hands down, the fastest way to make money in the coaching industry is to sell one-on-one coaching. Now, is it scalable? No, it's not scalable. But the initial momentum of it is really cool, right? And so, in fact, I still do some occasional one-on-one coaching. Now, the price that I charge has 10x'd, almost 20x'd in terms of what I'm charging. But actually, no, it's 40x'd from when I first started coaching in terms of what I was charging, right? And so the price will go up, but I'm just saying that one of the fastest ways, if you just need cash, like you need $5,000, you need 10 grand, one of the fastest things to do is one-on-one coaching. How do you do that? Super simple. You literally just send an email to your list, put a post up on social media. I'm looking for I've got 3 spots in my coaching program. And the goal of the coaching program is this. It's for this type of person. If that's you, hit reply and we can have a quick chat and see if it's a right fit. And you can send that email to your list. You can put a post up, like just something super simple. I've done that so many times. I remember for me, when we first moved to the US, which I shared in, I think it was in the previous episode or the episode before this, around the journey to $1 million. I had different moments in my life. Actually, no, I shared this in I think it was the abundance mindset, how to create an abundance mindset episode. But both of those episodes are good, by the way, not just because they're mine, but I felt like that content was nailing it. But do you ever get impressed with your own content? Like, do you ever go, oh my gosh, that was really good? I think I get impressed too much with my own content. So just watch me, keep me in check here, right? Yeah, so I had moments when I first started my coaching business in the US, when we first moved to the US, where I was like struggling, like we were behind financially and I wasn't established in the marketplace. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just need some cash flow. Like I need 15 grand, I need 20 grand to just pay some stuff. And I did some one-on-one coaching. Like that was my main focus, right? And so I just sent it to my list. Hey, I'm looking for 3 people. They go to an application, they fill out a short application, we get on a phone call and then sell them into a coaching program. And I remember I sent an email. I was using SurveyMonkey at the time, but we use some different platforms now, but you can use any sort of like survey. Do a quick survey, make sure they're somewhat a good fit, jump on a quick call with them. And I remember I signed like 5 clients at $5,000 each in like 7 days. Right. So it was like 25 grand came in right away. And I was like, oh, that's what we needed to grow the business at the time. I don't do that now. I'm not like putting my applications out there. In fact, the wait list is like 6 months at the moment to work with me to do any sort of one-on-one work. But that was when I needed that was a really great strategy. And so there's no shame in that, right? I want you to know that like that all work has honor. And I think sometimes in this industry, people kind of look down on like one-on-one coaching. It's too manual. Yeah, it's manual, but it's also fast, gets people great results. You get confident and you get paid well, right? And so, charging, it could be like $500 an hour or something like that. Very, very doable for almost anyone probably listening to this coaching session with me on the podcast. The third strategy. So the first strategy we talked about, just launch a new product, something small, something, just get the momentum moving. Second one, offer one-on-one coaching, simple one. The third one is ads. If you haven't tested or scaled with ads, my gosh, it can make such a difference. It's one of the reasons why in our Sell From Stage Elite coaching program, we do ads coaching every month. We've got ads training, all that sort of stuff. For me, I feel like I was late to the party with ads. I was very scared of ads for a long time. Now I know ads are like literally the fastest way to grow your business. In fact, one of our clients in our programs, she ran her first webinar. She was like very new. She had no audience and she was just like, I'm just going to run a webinar, see how it goes. And she had like 0 following, absolutely no email list, anything, right? And she kind of put it up. She had like 3 or 4 people sign up to the webinar. And then she had 1 person show up to the webinar. Okay, 1 person on her first one, which is great. I'm like, that's great. That's like the test. That's the first one, right? Everyone's got to do that. She's about to run her second webinar today. She's got 717 people, almost 1,000 people signed up to her next webinar. That's number 2, right? And I reckon she's going to crush it, right? We'll see how she goes. I'll check in with her in the next couple of days, but she'll crush it. She's got close to 1,000 people signed up to a webinar, and she's done most of that, like 95% of that, with ads. And so I just want you to realize the power of ads. I think she spent $3,000 or $4,000, and the program is about $3,000 that she's selling. So I always like to use a metric of how much is your program. You should invest that at least in your ads, maybe 2 times your program. So if you've got a $2,000 course, right, I would spend $4,000 on ads. That's a great number to go, okay, I can spend up to $4,000 on ads. $4,000 on ads, might get you anywhere between 400 to 500 people signed up, right? Let's say it's $10 or $8 per person signing up. And by the way, ads have been quite affordable. This year, ads have come back. Like the last 2 years, ads were tough. Like I was genuinely paying about $18 to $22 per registration for a webinar or for a video series or something like that. Now we're paying about $8. So it's ads are really like improved. The targeting of the ads have improved, all that sort of stuff. So I just want you to don't be afraid of using ads. I always say that to my students all the time. In fact, I was sharing that on the last elite coaching call. I'm like, guys, don't be afraid of ads. Like, give it a go. I just shared that example of one of our students, her first webinar, she had 1 person show up. And then second, I was like, you've got to get some ads working. And she worked with our ads consultant, who's a part of our elite program. At the moment, she's at 717 signups. It would probably be like 750 by the time she delivers the presentation, which is just cool. Like that's just game changing. And whether people buy on that first offer or not, they'll buy on the second offer or the third offer, right? And that's that whole process of designing that one presentation that you deliver over and over again. And then that's how you build and scale your business. So there are 3 simple strategies. I just wanted to just give them to you straight. Is that helpful? Is that useful? If it's been helpful, useful, insightful, let me know what's been most helpful. Don't leave the podcast without leaving a review. Please leave a review. I love reading your guys' reviews, especially if you're on iTunes. That's kind of the only platform you can leave reviews. Go down, leave me a written review, take a screenshot, send it to me on Instagram, just at Colin Boyd, or just take a screenshot and tag me in your stories and let me know what's been most valuable from the podcast today. That'd be great. Make sure you're following the show. Just click follow if you aren't following the show. And I've talked about my programs. That's how I help people on the next level. The podcast is amazing. I trust you're a listener. Our programs is where we go super detailed into the structures and all that sort of stuff. And so if you are someone who hasn't designed your story yet, you want to design your story, go to conversionstoryformula.com. That'll get you started with your story. That's a great place to start if you've never joined anything with me before. And that's a great place to start, right? It's the price of a few California tacos. And that'll get you started. The second thing is Sell From Stage Academy. That's our main curriculum that helps people, coaches, course creators design high converting presentations. You can go to colinboyd.co/workshop, and that'll take you through our philosophy, strategies, how we use presentations to sell. That's a whole teaching, by the way. That's a teaching. And then you'll also have a chance to check out Sell From Stage Academy there. And then thirdly, if you're already doing $5,000 to $10,000 in your coaching business already, and you would love some direct help from me and my team, then just DM me the word elite in my Instagram. Just type the word elite, and I'll have a quick chat with you and just see if you're potentially a right fit. If so, we'll set up a quick chat and we'll just chat through the program, see how it works, see if it's a right fit. If it's not, I'll point you in the right direction. If it is, we'll definitely be able to help you. So if you're someone who wants to scale up from, $5,000 to $10,000 months up to like 50, 100K months, we've done that so many times with our students, and that's the entire system. So I trust it's been helpful. Guys, bless you. Thank you so much for being a listener. and leave me a review. What's been most valuable from those 3 strategies? I went into a lot of detail, guys. Those 3 strategies, like 7 days, next 7 days, go and do one of those strategies. Go and do one that, like, don't just go, that was a cool podcast. Go and do one of the strategies, right? I want you to make money. That's my intention of doing the podcast, doing our programs. I want you to make money, grow your business. So bless you guys. We'll see you back next week on the Expert Edge.